Okay, so the next one is vibration. Everything vibrates, nothing rests. So what this means is nothing at all, nothing in the universe is ever still. An atom might be sitting still on this whiteboard, right? But within that atom, it's actually made up of smaller particles which are moving around, vibrating. And then it's got a nucleus in the center, which you'd think, oh, well, maybe that part's stationary. But actually, it's not. Within the nucleus, you've got vibration. And then within each one of those protons and neutrons, you've got quarks vibrating around there. And then inside the quarks, there's probably more. And that's where science is kind of, we're not quite there yet. Or maybe we are, but at least it's not released to the public. But basically, nothing rests. Everything moves. It must move to even exist. Just like, say you had a guitar string strung up across your doorway, you know. Someone played a prank on you. You walk right into it because you can't see it. Okay, but if someone plucked that guitar string, when it starts oscillating, then it takes up more space on average, and so it appears as physical form. So everything physical that you see or perceive is not at rest. It's vibrating. It's a vibration. It's a waveform. It's a frequency. Okay? And then last but not least, cause and effect. That's a big one, actually. Maybe I saved the best for last, but, you know, not really. They're all very important. In fact, they're all tied into each other, which we'll talk about in a second. But cause and effect is karma. That's what karma is. When you do something, it has an effect. Now, you might think that your actions in this country have no effect on other countries, but really they do. Because the collective action of our entire country affects what other countries do, and you are a part of that collective action. So you are necessary to create change, to cause an effect. You are necessary. Everything comes back around. So, you know, you're driving down the road and you get mad, someone cuts you off and you flip them off. Then, you know, maybe someday down the line, you're walking down the sidewalk and someone sprays you with water, runs through a puddle and gets you all wet. Well, that's karma. That's cause and effect. You sent out a brainwave of hate, and someone received that. They took it on, because it's all mental, right? And they redirected it at you. They may not have even known they're doing it, but the subconscious mind is very, very powerful. Subconscious mind may be able to tap into all those brainwaves floating around in society. You may know a lot that you don't know, if you catch my drift. Okay, now where I was going with this before I talked about cause and effect is it all ties in. All of these are the same, actually. Mentalism, well, the only way mentalism happens is, the only way it can be in your head is because you figured out what above and below means. You figured out what polarity means. You figured out what gender, rhythm, vibration, cause and effect were all in your mind. Okay? All of that corresponds. All of that data corresponds. It's all true. And, you know, if any part of it wasn't true, then it wouldn't fit into your mind. You know? If you saw someone walk through a wall, and they were just a human, and they just phased through a wall, then you might think, well, that doesn't fit. You know, that wouldn't be possible because it doesn't fit into your mind. Now maybe if your mind had room to fit that he was a ghost, something like that, I don't know, well then it would fit, right? But It wouldn't fit unless it corresponded. It has to correspond to fit, right? Polar. Everything's polar. Everything in your mind is polar. You know, anytime you think about going and doing something, oh, well, this could be good or this could be bad. Night and day. There's always a good and evil. That doesn't have to be, but that's the way your mind works.